Are you frustrated trying to find a livable wage and what seems to be a disconnect between what companies pay and the reality of life? Hello, my name is Doug with Career IQ. I've been a recruiter, a business leader, a career coach helping well over 1,000 clients and have been quoted for career advice in multiple major publications. Be sure to check out the link in the description to find out how you can get a copy of my Fast Track Job Search Bootcamp. Now let's dig in. Is there an imbalance in the way that money is divided in companies between business owners, shareholders, and executives, and those other individuals who work there? Of course there is. When we compare the cost of living and the increase thereof over the years to the average increase in wages and the minimum wage, does it seem clear that those two are not in favor of the common individual or worker? Yes. As a percentage, it's clear that wages have not kept up with the cost of living. None of that seems fair. However, without an overhaul of the entire system, this will continue to be the way that the system works. We can complain all we want, and perhaps we should, but in the meantime, complaining, stomping our feet, it's not going to pay the bills. We need to open our eyes to a couple of things. Number one, we need to realize why businesses exist and our place in them. And number two, we need to shift our paradigm and look at this through a lens that will help us get ahead. For as much as companies promote the idea and declare that they're families and that they care about their people, or as much as they may promote social concerns or declare values, businesses typically exist for one reason and one reason only, and that is to make a profit. There's been much conversation over recent years about a livable wage for all, and I'm not here to dialogue about whether or not everyone deserves a livable wage, but I will say this. Businesses don't think like that. Companies don't think in terms of a livable wage. They may use that as a slogan, but deep down inside, it's a slogan, and they are motivated by profits. That's just the truth. When a business thinks of an employee, their first thought is not, what does this person deserve to be paid so that they have a livable wage? They think in terms of value-based wage. In other words, what value does this person and their skills bring to the organization, and what is that worth? Over the years, culture has developed some sort of an enchanted view that businesses and governments exist to solve our problems, and that's just not the case. We can romanticize about a livable wage, but the cold hard facts are that businesses are entities and they're not based on feelings. They won't pay you more just to exist in their presence. They will only pay you based on the advantage that it brings to their bottom line. Until we come to terms with this and shift our approach, we're going to be stuck. Since earnings are directly tied, at least in theory, to the value that a person contributes, what must we do to increase our value? What are my skills and abilities worth? What we really are talking about here is an increase in our value to ourselves and others. Set aside the idea of being an employee for a quick second. Even if you start a business of your very own, ultimately you must provide a value to your customers for them to pay you. In a similar way, if you're going to look at an increase in what you're paid at a company, one of the best ways to do that and to get an increase is to increase your value in the marketplace. I understand that many have invested in college and other training and may really be up to their eyeballs in debt because of that. In many cases, those individuals may have degrees where there really are no opportunities right now. I also understand that there are many people who have spent many years in a specific career just drilling down into a specific focus. I'm not insensitive to those dynamics. However, we live in a time where we need to regularly evaluate how we fit in the landscape of this job market. Do the skills I have bring value? Am I increasing my value in the marketplace? What can I do to increase the value that I have in the marketplace? Is there some sort of coursework or certification? Is there a technology or some sort of AI that I could become familiar with, or better yet, excel in? My encouragement to you is, if you have been struggling to find a place where you have a livable wage, do your best to shift your view from frustration and shift to a place where you can explore how you can increase your value. It seems a little cold, but it's absolutely true. Employment is a business transaction, and only you should be the one who determines your success and path, not your employer. So start increasing the value that you bring to position yourself in a better place. If you'd like more information like this to help you in your job search, check out my link in the description below, and there you can find more insights and find out how to get a copy of my Fast Track Job Search Bootcamp.